Hello, friends, and welcome to another video lesson from DBOS Talks. If you haven't subscribed yet, please click subscribe and click the bell so that you can be notified of new uploads. This video is in the playlist called Handling Dates in SQL, and we'll be learning some of the common ways of formatting date. You may hear the terms date format or format mask. Okay, so interchangeably, and they mean the same thing. Let's look at the value of the system date, which is called sysdate in Oracle. So this is a very basic example. We cannot give you an exhaustive set of examples, but I'll give you the basics that will be very much will get you up and running, okay, on this concept. So if you have been following my and watching my previous videos, you would know that I've been using the Oracle built-in table, pseudo table called Dual, as well as in this case, we'll be working on the pseudo column called sysdate, which means system date, which also could usually is today's date, okay, but system date. So select sysdate from dual, and it will give you a value in a default format according to the session parameter in my Oracle database, okay? So altering that analyze date format can be taken up in some other conversation, but for now, let's just be content that we'll be working on this table, I mean on dual table, as well as working on the pseudo column called sysdate, so that you will learn about the different ways of using the format mask or date format for a date. Okay, when does it happen? It happens when you are trying to convert this value into a character format, because when you select this, actually, this is date has a data type of date, and we want to display it. If we wanted to display it in a certain manner, in some other form, some other customized format, then we will be using the tocar function to accomplish that. Okay, so let me just give you the first example over here. If you are looking at a British centric date format, which is date, month, year in that order, say date, date or day, month, and then followed by the year, that is British date. I'm just giving that there's no formal name for this, but it is a convention followed by GB, Great Britain, UK, and the other Commonwealth nations. Okay, so not all, but most of them. So like I said, you will be using the tocar function over here, and that tocar function will be taking two parameters, which is in this case the date value you want to convert, or you not convert, but to in a way convert, but you want to customize its display into something else. So this is the date value, the value in with date data type, and after the comma is the second parameter, which is the format mask or the date format that you want to use in displaying this value, sysdate, okay? So select to car, sysdate, and then your format mask. And then here is just an alias. If you want, there's an optional way of using the as keyword, as, and from dual, okay? So that means it will display it in this manner, date, followed by month, numeric value of day, numeric value of month, and of course the numeric value of year. Okay, let's look at the value. Okay, so earlier we were seeing some default NLS date format, but now it is following the format mask I have specified using the autocar function. So let's take a look. Date in numeric value, month and year. So 27, that's correct, that's 27th. Today I'm doing this video, this is the 27th of April. So 27, DD, MM, the numeric value of the month April is 404. And then the YYYY, are the 4 digits of the current year, which is 2025. So it's correct. Okay, so that's the first example you're looking at. And again, we'll be using the tocar function to customize how the date can be displayed. Okay, what if you wanted to display what I would call a US-centric date format? So in the US-centric date format, you have the format is like this: month, the numeric value of month, which is 1 to 12, 0, 1 to 12, followed by the numeric value of the day or date, and the 4-digit year. All right. So again, we'll use tocar, and that will be being applied on the date value, in this case, sysdate. and which is a pseudo column which exists in the dual table of Oracle. Okay, but in reality, you can use this in any table on any date value, like a date column of a table. You can use this to car followed by the date value, which could be a column name, and after the comma, the second parameter is the format mask or the date format. Okay, so this time MMDDYYYY. Let's look at this. So right now it's 2704. The expectation is that it should come out as 04/27/2025. Let's take a look. Okay, so that's correct. This is the month 04, the date in its numeric value 27, and the year. So MMDDYYYY. All right. Okay, let's look at another example. So the point is for you to get comfortable with the use of the format mask. There are quite a number of ways of formatting, but these are the most commonly used, especially the year, the month, and the date. There will be an hour, minute, second, but if I take that up in this video, to be too much and it will just confuse you. So let's just focus on the most commonly used formatting for now. Okay, so if you are looking at formatting it for let's say a client, which is a Japanese company, for a Japanese audience or users, then you would be using this kind of date format. Japan and other countries, I forgot the other countries. Okay, you can call that. So it's YYYY, the 4 digits of the number, I mean of the year, followed by the numeric value of the month, and then the numeric value of the date. All right, YYYY, month, and then date. Let's take a look. So it should come out as 2025/04/27. Okay, so that's as expected. Now, if you wanted to use a different delimiter or separator for the date values, when I say delimiter or separator, I'm referring to this slash over here, which separates the three date components, the year, the month, and the date. Okay, that's what I'm referring to. If you wanted to customize it into some other character, you can do that actually. It's very flexible. So all you have to do is simply replace this delimiter, this separator character with the one you have in mind. So in this case, if you wanted to use a hyphen, or you want to call it dash, then you can just go ahead and do that directly on the format mask. All right. By now, you already know what I mean by format mask. Okay, so what I did was just replacing the existing one, which is a slash or forward slash, with the one I have in mind right now, which is a hyphen. All right. So when I execute this, it will be following this same format mask, except that the delimiter or separator of those date components will be now a hyphen. All right, so that's as expected. 2025 dash or hyphen 04 hyphen 27, right? The same concept can be applied to the other examples you have previously seen. All right, so like I said, you can use any kind of character in here and it will just work. Tilde, and it will be a tilde here, right? Now, if you wanted to display literal values for day or month, okay, I'll just put it here. If you wanted to display literal values, when I say literal, it means letters, not numbers. Literal values for day, in this case, let's focus on day. Later, the month will come. In uppercase, so it's very specific. Again, display literal values for a day. And I say complete, meaning the complete word, the full word. If it's September, then it's, no, day. Day, so if it's a Monday, it's a Monday. The whole word will be displayed. So if you look, take a good look at the work format mask here. So by now, you already know that DD refers to the numeric value of the date. MM is the numeric value of the month, and then the year, of course. And then there's a space in between, followed by day. So the day, which is in uppercase, will also show that day value in uppercase as well. And by day, we mean Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Whatever is the day of this specific date. That's the meaning of this day. If you look at the calendar, it is, of course, numeric. And whatever is the day for that, is it a Wednesday, is it a Thursday, it will display it here in full. The whole word will be displayed and in uppercase. All right, let's do that. Okay, so today happens to be a Sunday. The 27th April is the date today. and today is a Sunday. So that's why the day here in the format mask will help to display the day value separated by a space. Right after the DDMMYYYY, it will display the day. All right. So that's not too complicated. Okay. Now, if you want an abbreviated display of the day, not the full word Sunday, but abbreviated, you can do this. DY instead of day. Let's see what it means, what it does. So instead of displaying the full word Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, it will display this. Sun, Mon, Chu, Wed, etc. Okay? That's abbreviated. Next, let's take a look at a different example. Not totally different, a variation, if you may. So display literal values for month in uppercase and complete literal values. Again, when I say literal, I mean letters, I don't mean numeric values. So display literal values for the month. So if it is July, it should be 07, no, literal values. So if it is July, then it should display July, not 07 here, right here. Okay. So the DD will still be the numeric value of the date. The month will be the full word of the month. If it is April, it would spell out APRIL. Okay, and the YYYY is just the same. It's the numeric value of the year. Okay, let's take a look at that. So as you can see, it's displaying the date as 27 April 2025. For now, you can ignore the space in between. That's something you can fix. We can discuss on it later on a subsequent video, not for now. But just look at the effect of the format mask. The DD is the numeric value of the date, which is 27 still. The month is the completely spelled word for the month, which is today is April. So it's putting there April. And then the 2025 stays the same. All right. So that's the complete month. If you want an abbreviated display of the month, then you can use this MON. DD, MON, YYYY. So what happens is this is still the numeric value of the date, the DD. The MON in uppercase, so it will also display the month in uppercase. And not only that, because it's showing MON instead of month, it will only display the first three letters of the month. So in this case, April becomes APR. If you say August, it will be AUG, etc. All right? Not so complicated right there. So that's the abbreviated displaying of the literal value of the month. And this is in uppercase. All right? Now, let's do something, another minor variation of this. So we are just progressing into something, getting the familiarity, getting the comfort level, and then progressing to something else. So here, you'll display the literal values for day in mixed or lowercase. So we still have the numeric value of the date, DD, the numeric value of the month, the year, numeric value of the year, of course. And then the day is the full spelling of the day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, etc. Except that this is in mixed case. The first letter is in uppercase. The rest of the words, the letters of the word are in lowercase. That's the meaning of this. Okay, so it's Sunday today, and it is displaying the S in uppercase because of this format has mask here. The D is capitalized. So the first letter of the day has been capitalized also. But the rest of the words, the letters of the word, are in lowercase. So it follows this format mask. If you do it like this, everything lowercase, then it will follow that. Okay, simple, right? So if we do the same thing for, let's say, okay, I think we've covered everything. So display, yeah, I think we've covered what I wanted to cover. You cannot cover everything in one go because it's really a lot of variations over there. Just remember that the most commonly used format mask involves the date, the month, and the year. So you would go with DD, which is the numeric value, the MM is the numeric value, and then you have the YYYY. There are many other variations. There's an RRRR for the year. There's an hour component, HHMI, minute, SS, second. But we don't. I don't want to overload you right now. So I hope this has added to your stack of learning as far as Oracle SQL is concerned. Okay, thank you for watching and listening. If you haven't subscribed yet, please click subscribe, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.